Alright guys, tomorrow is the day. Don Lorenzo finally arrives with his full rework, and I can't even tell you how excited I am. We've been waiting for this moment for what feels like forever, and now that we've got sneak peeks and some polls that basically reveal what's coming, we can finally start piecing together what Lorenzo's rework is going to look like. So, first things first, let's get one thing straight. If you're expecting Lorenzo to be completely unrecognizable after this update, that's not what's going to happen. A lot of his identity is staying the same. His cutscene animations, like his awakening animation, Yo Michael, which has always been a fan favorite, aren't going anywhere. Same with his core base moves. Those iconic cutscenes and the flavor of his kit are going to stay intact. And honestly, that's a good thing. There's no reason to mess with something that already works. But that doesn't mean he won't be changing. In fact, he's about to change a lot. And if you followed the polls, then you already know what's likely coming. We've seen this before. Polls aren't always 100% confirmed, but historically, about 80 to 90% of what wins in the polls actually makes it into the game. So when I say this is happening, I mean it's very, very likely we'll see these changes go live. But before we go further, I just wanted to remind you, if you haven't liked this video and subscribed to my channel, please do. It literally takes just a few seconds, and it makes me happy to make daily videos just for you guys. Thank you in advance, and let's get back to the main topic. Now, let's look at the bigger picture. We saw this same kind of approach with Sei's rework not long ago. Remember how Sei already had some amazing animations? His awakening animation was already cinema level. But what did the devs do? They polished it. They added new VFX trails, they cleaned up the shots, and then most importantly, they added completely new moves. Divine Destruction, for example, gave Sei an entirely new awakening move that made him feel fresh and powerful again. That's exactly the kind of treatment I think Lorenzo is about to get. So let's break down what the polls told us about Don Lorenzo's rework. First, we know he's getting brand new VFX across his kit. This isn't just a clean up the particles thing. This is a full overhaul of how his moves look and feel. You can expect his awakening shot to pop even harder, with new effects that make it feel like a true generational rarity style. His base dribbles, tackles, and steals are going to feel smoother, with better trails and cleaner impact visuals. That alone is enough to make Lorenzo mains happy because his old visuals were starting to feel dated compared to the newer reworks like Sai or Livigno. Second, he's getting a new move. This is probably the biggest part of the rework, and again, the polls pretty much told us exactly what direction they're going. Lorenzo is a defender style at his core, so it makes perfect sense that his rework would lean into that identity. In one of the recent polls, the devs asked about adding a defender style move, specifically a steal move, and it just makes sense. Lorenzo has always been about shutting down attackers, locking them down, and controlling the back line. A dedicated steal move fits perfectly with his playstyle and finally gives him the defensive punch he deserves. Third, his awakening shot, pass, or whatever it is, it's going to change. Now here's where things get interesting. The devs haven't said if they're going to buff his awakening shot or completely replace it, but all signs point to replacement. And honestly, I think that's the right move. His current awakening shot is good, but it doesn't really stand out compared to newer styles. It feels dated. Replacing it with something new, something that feels like it belongs in, I can say, the new era of blue lock rivals, would bring him up to the current standard. Whether it's a new power shot, a defensive counter shot, or something tied to passing, it's going to make Lorenzo's awakening kit feel brand new. And then there's the secret awakening. This is the part that's really got people hyped. Yes, Lorenzo is getting a brand new secret awakening. The devs have been slowly adding secret awakenings to more and more styles, and it looks like it's finally Lorenzo's turn. And they even hinted at already with some new sneak peeks, and it is the screenshot with a Don Lorenzo saying, "Give me lucky spins." Yeah, and I think they're gonna do something based on this meme. We don't know exactly what it will be yet. That's still under wraps. But given his identity as a defender, I wouldn't be surprised if it ties into his ability to completely nullify offensive moves. Maybe it's a steal into a counter shot. Maybe it's a cinematic where he shuts down an attacker and immediately turns defense into offense. Whatever it is, it's going to push him into that generational rarity category, that people have been saying he deserves for months. Now, I want to pause here and talk about something important. A lot of people love Don Lorenzo. He's one of those characters that's almost universally liked, which is rare in a game like this where metas constantly shift and mains constantly argue. And because of that, his rework isn't just about balance. It's about giving him the respect he deserves. For months, people have been asking when Lorenzo would get the treatment Sei got, or the polish that Livigno got, or the flashiness of the Loki rework. Tomorrow, we finally get that. This is about elevating him from being just a solid style to being a generational rarity style. So what does that mean in practice? It means his kit is going to feel deeper. Right now, Lorenzo feels strong, but one-dimensional. You know what you're getting when you play him. After this rework, you'll have more tools, more ways to shut down attackers, more ways to play creatively, more ways to impact the game beyond just sitting in the backline. That's the hallmark of a generational rarity style. Not just power, but depth, and that's what we're about to get. Now let's talk about the timing of this. I know some people were confused because the devs have been juggling multiple reworks and events at the same time. We've already seen Nel Rin and Nel Isagi drop, and they were, let's just say, controversial. We've got Halloween coming up, which means Reaper Sei and Demon Shadou are on the horizon. And in the middle of all that, Lorenzo's rework is dropping tomorrow. It's a packed schedule, and honestly, it's kind of insane how much content the devs are pushing out right now. That's exactly why this Lorenzo rework is so important. It's not just another style update, it's a statement. It's the devs saying, we know Lorenzo is beloved and we're going to do him justice. They're not phoning this one in. They're not giving him a lazy reskin. They're giving him new moves, new VFX, a new awakening shot, and a secret awakening. That's the full package. And look, I know some people are still nervous. What if the poles don't make it into the game? What if the steal move gets cut? What if the awakening shot doesn't change? Those are fair questions, but again, history is on our side here. When 80 to 90% of poll results end up in the game, you can feel pretty confident that what we've seen in the polls is what we're about to see tomorrow. So yeah, Lorenzo mains, your time has finally come. Tomorrow, your favorite style is getting the respect it deserves. Get ready for cleaner VFX. Get ready for a brand new steal move. Get ready for a reworked awakening shot. And get ready for a secret awakening that could push him into generational rarity status. This isn't just a rework. This is Lorenzo's rebirth. And before I wrap this up, let me remind everyone once again, after Lorenzo's rework, or maybe a little bit later, we're very likely getting the full Halloween event update. And that's not just going to be another small event or cosmetic drop. We're talking about two completely new limited styles being introduced. Reaper Sei and Demon Shadou. These aren't just reskins with new animations like McNagi. They're entirely new versions of the characters with their own moves, their own awakening skills, and their own unique VFX. The polls already confirmed what the community wants, and the devs have been teasing this direction for weeks now. So if you thought Lorenzo's rework was hype, just wait until Halloween season hits. Two brand new limited styles with fresh kits and event-exclusive content will push Blue Lock rivals into one of the biggest updates we've ever seen. Keep your eyes open because it's coming very soon. And honestly, I couldn't be happier about it. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be back when the update drops.